welcome back. Today I have another love it or leave it for you guys. I am going to do a product review on something that I picked up just a couple of weeks ago. If you would like to see what that is, just stay tuned. If you guys saw my video on my birthday haul just a couple of weeks ago, you will remember that I picked up a little product from Ulta that I wanted to give a try. That was the Ulta Professional Matte Prime Face Primer. I picked up the little sample that was just $5 because when I went to purchase this product, I asked a few of the ladies who were working in Ulta that day if it was a good product or not, if it was comparable to any of the higher end primers that they sold or not. And believe it or not, none of the ladies that I asked that day knew anything about this product. I thought that was a little interesting considering that I would think if I was going to work for a particular store that sold our store brand, I would want my employees to know as much about those products as possible. But I could not even find one of them in the store that day that knew anything at all about this primer. Because of that, I did not want to put out the full price for the full size primer, because if you've been following this channel, you know that I have been testing out some primers, trying to find a much less expensive primer than I had been using. And so I didn't want to put a bunch of money out if it was going to be a primer that I didn't like. I happen to have extremely oily skin. On top of that, we live in Florida where it's very hot and humid just about year-round, and that causes a lot of moisture on top of the oil. So it's very, very hard for me to find a primer that I actually enjoy that works for me and that keeps the oil at bay. So I decided to just go ahead and pick up the little mini trial size. I thought for $5, nothing ventured, nothing gained. It's not going to be a huge loss if I don't enjoy the product. I brought it home, and over these last couple of weeks I have been using it every time I get ready. I have used this primer now with 3 different foundations. I have used it with the new Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I have used it with the Revlon Color Stay foundation, and I have also used it with the CoverGirl Outlast foundation. I wanted to make sure that before I brought you guys a review that I tried it with several different foundation brands, just to make sure whether or not it was going to be a product that could be universally used or whether it was going to be a product that had to be used with a specific foundation. Because if you're anything like me, I want my primer to be versatile, that I can use with a lot of different products, because I like to try out a lot of products from our couponing finds, and I want to just be sure that what I am putting down underneath that foundation is going to be something that can be versatile. I have also used this in a variety of ways, meaning that I have used it on a day where I was only going to wear my makeup for a short period of time. I have also used this where I was going to be wearing my makeup for a long stretch of time, like 13, 14-hour days. And then I have also used this primer when I knew that I was going to have a lot of activity that was going to cause some perspiration. If you guys watched the video I posted just a couple of weeks ago, a vlog of the day that we went to the Gator game, this primer is what I had on underneath my foundation. We did a lot of walking that day. It was pretty humid outside because on top of the already humid weather we have here in Florida, it had been raining most of the day. And of course, the game was a 3-hour game outdoors. So I knew, okay, this is going to be an activity where I can truly test out the lasting power of this primer and whether or not it really does keep my face mattified under those kind of conditions. So I have to tell you, if this tells you anything at all, I went back and bought the full size because I am in love with this primer. The full size of this primer is 1 full ounce, and it is $18. Definitely much cheaper than the $32 that I had been paying for the Lorac that I usually wear. I had been using the Lorac Perfection Mattifying Primer for the last couple of years, and I really, really love it. That is a great option for some of you. But if you don't want to pay the full $32 to pick up that Lorac, to pay $18 for this one by Ulta is a great option for you. Now, one of the differences as far as comparing apples to apples is that the Lorac primer is 1.7 ounces. That's just a little bit over 1.5 ounces. This one is just 1 ounce. So it's not like you're paying $18 versus $32 for the exact same amount of product. You are getting a little over 1/2 ounce less in this one, but that still makes it much more economical, in my opinion, to get the little less expensive product because it does work as well. Now, one of the things that I was very concerned about is that the Lorac Perfection that I have been using is advertised and marketed as a product that is good for reducing the look of pores. This one is not. This one is just a mattifying primer. So I wasn't real sure how I was going to like the look of this versus the look of that, if it was still going to keep my pores somewhat minimized or if it might accentuate those a little bit more. And I have to tell you, I'm going to go ahead and insert some pictures right here at the beginning of the day and also at the end of the day after that Gator game so that you can see that there is no shine. The little bit of shine that you're seeing there is just from the flash that was in the car. The oil, though, is not there, and I did not reapply any powder at all. And I think by these pictures you can also see that my pores are not maximized at all. They might not look quite as diminished as they do with the Lorac, but they are pretty close. You can't see them near as well as you can when I don't have on any primer at all. So overall, because of the price, because it does hold my oil down, and because it still does diminish my pores at least to a degree, I am totally in love with this, and it is definitely a love it for me. Now, here is a great deal that's actually going on right now at Ulta, and one that I am hoping that I get back to take advantage of myself before this sale is over. Through the end of September, Ulta is offering on some of their products, but the primer is included. Some of their products are buy two, get two free. On top of that, you can also go on to Retail Me Not, or maybe you've already received it in the mail, and I'm not sure, you may can even print it online. I haven't gone to Ulta.com to check that out. Or you may have even gotten an email. Some way or another, you should be able to get your hands on a $3.50 coupon that is good off of a $10 Ulta brand purchase, or any brand actually, except for high-end. That coupon does work on these. So if you were to go in the store and purchase 2 of these, get you 2 more for free, then apply that $3.50 coupon, it actually would come out, I believe if my math is correct and if I have remembered right, it would come out making these just $8 a tube for a full ounce of this primer. That is an exceptional deal, and those 4 tubes would last you quite a while. But it's a great time to take advantage of this sale. That's why I wanted to hurry up and bring you guys this video. I didn't even know about the sale till we popped in the store to pick one of these up, and while we were in there, my daughter noticed the sign and I was like, oh man, that's a great deal. But I wasn't prepared that day to buy 2 full size of these. So I asked the lady, how long is this sale going on? Because I'd like to come back and take advantage of this. And she told me it would be until the end of this month. So if you are looking for a primer and if you have oily skin, I highly recommend that you at least give this a try. Just remember, everybody's skin is a little bit different, and what works for me may not work for you. You might get this and hate it. So maybe you want to pick up the little sample size to give it a try first before you actually invest in purchasing the full-size products. But it definitely is something I recommend for oily skin. If you have dry skin, I'm not real sure, because in all honesty, this product works so well that it's almost on the verge of feeling a little drying by the end of the day. So if you have already dry skin as well as this primer works, I'm not so sure that you would like this one, but the Ulta brand of primers have several that are out. They have this matte one, of course. They have one that is for pores, and then they have a couple of others that are for different skin types. So maybe you want to check those out. At any rate, in this Love It or Leave It, I am definitely saying I love it, and I highly recommend you give it a try. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you in the next video.